Hi everybody, this is Maureen Wong from mycasestudies.blogspot.com. I posted on Facebook a picture of some foiled Flair that I'm making. Let me show you those. Here are just a couple of them. And you can see that they are foiled. And then I made them into Flair, or I guess people call them buttons. It's called a button making machine. And I got requests to do a video, so I'm doing the video. Okay, first of all, before you even watch this video, let me tell you about the button making machine. I'll show that in a little bit, but I just wanted to let you know that it's kind of an expensive toy. They have a kit right now on Etsy. You go to Button Boy Inc., and I'll post a link in the description. And there is a kit that's going for over $250 that includes the button making machine and all the parts you need to make these plastic flat back buttons that I'm using. And then what I do with them is I just put foam tape on the back and stick it to stuff, and that's like double-sided foam tape. So if you think you're still interested, here's the process. You also need your foiling materials. Oh, and it also comes with a punch. It's not this industrial punch that I have. I got my kit right before they came out with the sort of home crafter punch version of this. So I have the industrial strength version. And anyway, this punches a hole, and it's a 1-inch button maker. These are 1-inch buttons. I'll show you that. But if you can see here, the hole that it punches is larger because it takes the extra paper and scrunches it into the back of the button and then smashes this plastic bit on top right here. And my punch looks really funny because I did this myself. I got 2 very, very thin strips of paper and I put them on an X so it would find the center, and then I cut out, I think this is a 3/4 inch circle punch, and I folded it into fourths and put the fourth lines lined up with the X. And what that does is it gives me a little visual guide of where the exact center of the punch is going to be. If you print things out with a circle around them, you don't need to use this, but if you're going to take a piece of like pattern paper or something and you want a very specific part of the pattern in the center, this helps you find the center. But you don't need to do that. That's just me being really, really picky about stuff, and I want things to be almost exactly perfect, exactly perfectly centered. So that's why I did this little ugly setup on my hole punch, but of course you don't need it. And then you especially don't need it if all you're going to be doing is printing out things, and you can use a circle guide, and that will help you to make sure your things are centered. And so I printed out these 2 sheets so far, a heart in brackets and the word hi. This font is called Very Berry. It's a paid font, but you can find lots of nice fonts for free. And I actually use the software called Make the Cut. And it is a software meant to go with electronic die cutting machines. The reason why I use it is because I've been using it for a really, really long time, and I know how to do things in Make the Cut that I don't know how to do in Photoshop. But I'm almost positive you can do this exact same thing in Photoshop and get the exact same results. The point is you need some kind of a circle, and this circle is 1.313 inches, and then I just put my graphics in and sized them how I thought I wanted them to be sized, and then I duplicated it across the whole sheet and printed it out on my laser printer. And of course for foiling it has to be a laser printer. Then what I did was I went in with my hole punch, centered it according to the circle on the outside, the 1.313 inch circle, and punch it out. and you can see that the high is perfectly centered in that because that's how I set up the file. And then what you're going to need is foil. So for this one I think I'll do gold. Or how about I get a little adventurous and do, I also have my lime foil open. So I'm going to cut a piece of this lime foil. I actually really like this color. I actually, if I'm being honest, like all of the colors. The only one I don't care for as much is the cheetah print, but I'm sure I'll find a use for that as well. But these foils are all just so beautiful. I love every single one of the colors. So just pick a foil color you like and cut a little piece that's going to go over your high or whatever your design is. Next, I'm taking my parchment paper and sticking my piece in there, making sure that my foil is still placed nicely over my high, so I'm going to get the entire word covered. Now I have my laminating machine on and the green ready light is on, so I can carefully feed this through there. I'm trying not to move it so that my foil doesn't move out of place from on top of the toner before it actually hits those heated rollers and gets stuck down. So hopefully that came out, and I just have to wait a little while for my entire piece of parchment to come out. Okay, and I'm actually touching my laminator and picking it up and putting it down while it's on and hot. The sides are warm to the touch but not really hot, but all laminating machines are different, so be very careful how you handle your particular machine. You might not be able to touch it while it's heated up. Okay, so I have my piece here, and here we go. The word hi in foil. Oh, that's just so pretty. And you can see that there's a little bit of the circle that was on the edge, and the foil got picked up on the toner on the edge, but that's going to get shoved into the back of the button when I make the button, so don't worry about that. So let me get my button machine. I'll be right back. Okay, so here is the button making machine. Let me try and show you that a little bit better. Basically it's a press type of machine to make the buttons, and let me go through the different parts you'll need. There are the silver backings, and the edges crimp to smash all the paper and everything together. Then there are these mylar sheets that go over your button and protect the artwork underneath. And then there are these plastic flat backs that are the backs of the buttons. You can actually choose from, if you're going to get the button making machine, you can actually choose from a lot of different kinds of backings. You can make metal backings, magnet backings, pin backings. You can make them into, I think, keychains and jewelry and all sorts of stuff. You should just check out online, and you can see all the different stuff that you can make. Button Boy Ink is got a lot of different supplies, so you can check those out. But basically what it is, it has these two sides, and the one side, and it comes with really great instructions, all except for one thing, and I'll talk about that in just a second. There's one side called the pickup die, and then the other side is called the crimp die. And the pickup die is this one that has the metal piece with the circle in it. Let me see if I can get this out. And it's higher. This also has a circle in it, but it's lower, and this is the crimp side. And this is an adapter. Please excuse the fact that it's completely rusted. I got this machine actually kind of a long time ago, and this just rusted because I'm in Hawaii and everything rusts here. So the one thing that I believe I couldn't find in the instructions was how to put the adapter in. And if you look very closely at it, it has this, oh, it's so hard to get on camera. It has a little edge, and then this part on top is a little bit smaller than that bottom part with the edge. And so I'm calling this smaller part the face of it, and the bigger part is the back of it. So you want to place that face up. So the bigger side down, the smaller side up. And that's how you place it in your machine. And then how you go about doing it is you put in the metal piece first, then you put in your artwork, and so here's my little foiled high. Then you put a Mylar sheet. Be very careful that it's not dirty, and you also want to make sure that you don't have more than one. These things stick together like crazy, so you'll want to, you know, feel it, push it around to make sure you've only got one. If you have two, it usually ruins your button, so you don't want to do that. And so that's all for that part. And then on the other side, on top of the adapter, you're going to put the plastic back. So you just put all the materials with the artwork underneath the press, and then you press it. And it's not very hard. Whoops, I moved that. I'm going to stand up because I need some leverage though. Oh wait, I'm going the wrong way. That's why it wouldn't work. So you press it down that way, then you flip it around, and you can see that the button pieces are all gone. They've been sucked up into the press part by a magnet, and now when I press it down on the crimp side, it's gonna come back down. So I press that again on the other side, and then when I flip it open, you can see my button or flare, whatever you want to call it, is complete. And then I will just get a piece of, this is the regular 3M foam tape. I like this for it because it's not actually very thick. Because this is a flat back button, it doesn't have a lot of room, but a regular flat double-sided adhesive might not pick up. So I think this 3M foam tape is just the perfect thing. Then you just peel off the backing and you can stick that wherever you want. So I hope that explains it a little better. And if you have any questions, leave me a comment and I'll try and get back to you as soon as possible. Other than that, I hope you like this little demonstration about foiled Flair, and I hope to see you over at mycasestudies.blogspot.com or on my YouTube channel, which you are here now. Thank you very much for watching.